this is the help video for Access Chapter 5. This is the Prepare Case. We're on Step 13. And we have just finished working with our validation properties. So now we're looking at captions. So I'm going to switch back over to Data Design View from Datasheet. So field names are the proper names used by Access, but we can use the property caption to change the name to anything we want it to be, right? Something that's more meaningful or is spaced out better. So we're going to come up here where it says first name, and we're going to come down to the caption, and we're going to type first space name. So the name of the field, when I use it, it's first name, but when it's displayed, like the column headers or the label next to the text box on a form, would say whatever the caption is. But what you want to recognize is that the caption is not the name. So if you have field names that are kind of like little codes, then you would want to put something in the caption that was a little more meaningful. So caption for hire date is date of hire, and then position is job title. All right, so I'm going to save it, and I'm going to flip over to Datasheet view, and look at my names now. Instead of the field name, you're actually seeing the caption here. And you can really tell it here with data hire, because the field name is really hire date. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close that, and we're going to talk about indexes. So an index is a field that you are ordering the records by, because in the physical table, the records are just put in the order in which they're entered, right? But you often don't look at, almost never do you look at the records in the order that they physically are. And so when you create a primary key, one of the things that happens is you make an index. And an index is like, if you want to think of it as like a little separate little table, and in that it just keeps the primary key in order, and then it'll have a little pointer to know which record is that. So it's a quick way to get a table in a certain order. And you can create indexes for more than just the primary key. And so oftentimes you would index a table on a field that you use often as a sort, right? So because then the system doesn't have to go through and chug through and sort the records. It's already in that order through that index, right? So if it's something that you find you're using often to sort, then using an index would increase efficiency. It doesn't really do anything to the table as you see it, okay? So we're going to open the position table. I'm going to go into design view right now. Let's go over to, okay, so I am in Datasheet view right now, right? So if I go back to design, employee position is already indexed because, so if you look down here, indexed, yes, no duplicates. And that automatically happens because I made it a key. So what we want to do is create a single field index using position. Index name is position. Field name is position type. So what I want to do is I want to use this indexes that's up on the Table Tools design. I'm going to click on that. And look, it already has the primary key because you get an index when you do a primary key. So I want to add a new new index. So all I did, let me undo that. All I did was right-clicked and said Insert Row. It put a new line above, and we're going to do, what are we doing? Open the position table. Oops, I'm in position table. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so I got confused there. Okay, so the index name is going to be position. And I just got that because it says here. Field name, I'm going to click and pick position type, ascending, and then primary key, no. We already have our primary key. Unique, no, which means this, you could have multiple position types in the table. If I made this yes, then it would be like the primary key. You'd have to make each record unique. And ignores, nulls, no. So we can go ahead and close that up. And if we look down here in index, it says yes, duplicates okay. So that's you can do it here or you can do it down there. It's fine. We're going to save that and we're going to close that. We're going to open up table member in design view, and we're going to add a new index, but this one is going to have multiple fields in the index. So what we want to do in the member table, we're going to come up here to index, and we can see we've already got member ID, member zip code, primary key. So what I want to do, let's see what it says here. Open and create a multiple field index. Okay, so I am going to come right down here and do a right-click insert. So the name is member name, is the name of the index. The field is last name, ascending. Then I'm going to add another row, but I'm not putting an index name. I'm just picking another, which would be first name. So as long as there's no name in the index name column, whatever I put is attached to the last name that you saw, right? So member ID only has one field. Member name has two built into the index. So it's going to keep it in a sorted order by last name and then first name. And then I think, no. Okay, so on the member name, no, we're right. So we're good. Okay, so we're going to do that, and we're going to save that. And then let's go ahead and do this. Records with empty values may be okay depending on the data. However, many fields, such as last name, should be required. So when set to yes on a required, the required property will prevent a field from being blank. If that's the only property set, then after a record has been entered, the field could still be erased. So by just setting required to yes, you could put something in and then take it out. But if you store an empty set or a zero or a null, when the zero length is set to no, you can't have nothing in here. The combination of the two of them will prevent not only data from, it will make data being entered and it won't allow it to be erased. So let's go ahead and do this. So we're going to do first name. So we're going to double click here on required and double click on allow zero length. So it's required and no zero length. We're going to go to last name. Let's make sure, where am I at? First name, last name. Okay, so here I want to highlight that so I don't. So last name, double click, yes, double click, changes it to no. So double click will just change the property. Address, yes, no. City, yes, no. State, yes, no. Postal code, yes, and no. So those really go hand in hand. Usually when you say required, you also make a 0 length. I'm going to go ahead and save that. I don't need to check my data. I'm done with 16 and I'm at 10 minutes. So I'm going to stop this movie and then I'll pick up with 17. Maybe got a couple more movies going here. All right, thank you.